So, actually, recording the podcast is, in podcast form, is impossible. Now, impossible. Not like doing it in the way that I want to do it. Impossible. So, it's gonna be in video form from now on. Because this sucks. I'm gonna see if I can detach the audio from this and then upload that as podcast. Have to find a workaround, you know. So, gonna have to explain things yet again. The game that we're gonna do, it's revamped now. I'm gonna call it Trivia Landmine. There are 3 levels: easy level, medium level, and difficult level. And it's gonna be asking trivia questions of a certain topic. So easy level, it's a 90-second timer for all 3 levels. That's all you get is 90 seconds. Not for each level, but for all the levels combined. You have to, however much you can do in 90 seconds. So easy level. You answer questions. No penalty for a wrong answer, really. Then you can choose to go on to medium level, or just keep the points that you have. If you choose to go on to medium level, the timer unpauses, and you answer questions. But if you get one wrong, all your points that you scored from the easy level are gone, wiped. Boom, stepped on the landmine. So, once you move on from there, if you do, so if you get a question wrong, then you're left on medium, you're left with only what you score on medium. Then you can choose to go on to the difficult level. If you don't have any time left, then, well, you can't. But then you can go on to the difficult level, and if you choose to, then the timer unpauses, and you answer questions. And if you get one wrong, then all your points from the previous levels, both easy level and medium level, are wiped. And you're left with only what you can score on the difficult level. So the risk increases as you go on. Now, how are we going to handle ties? Before you play, you're going to submit a rock, paper, scissors combination. It can be any combination of 3, like it could be paper, paper, scissors, rock, rock, paper, rock, 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 paper, scissors, paper, rock, scissors, whatever combination. You actually submit 2. And if there's a tie, and each person submits 2 before they even play. And then, so if there's a tie, then we take those combinations, and I really don't foresee there being a 3-way tie for the week. So if there's a tie, take those combinations and put person A's combination 1 against person B's combination 1. And then if those tie, then we put person A's combination 2 up against person B's combination 2. If those tie, then we put 1 against 2 and 2 against 1. So each, yeah. And then if there's still a tie, then, well, then help me. Save me from this nightmare. So yeah. Yawning. So yeah, that's what it's gonna be. And yeah, I hope I can actually do this. I want to take this moment to tell you, yield to pedestrians. Yield to pedestrians. You know how many times I've almost been run over when the crossing signal has said cross and someone decides, I'm gonna make a right turn while he's crossing. It's like, no. Right when you're making that right turn, I'm right there. So they then speed on that turn and pass like 6 inches in front of my face. How many times on the roundabout where they're not gonna stop. They have to come to a screeching halt because they suddenly remember what the law is, what the sign says on yield to pedestrians. It is absolutely mind-boggling how people just skip through that. I may sound like an entitled brat, but I read in my driver's handbook that you basically have to yield pedestrians in almost all scenarios. And people seem to think that the yield to pedestrian sign means absolutely nothing. Then why is it there? Why is it there? So, yield to pedestrians. Alright, don't be like, oh, what does this mean? What does this yield to pedestrian sign mean? I think it means I should just barrel right through it and pay no heed to whether someone might be crossing there. Don't be like that. Be like, oh, yield to pedestrians. Oh, there's a pedestrian. I should yield. And also look out for pedestrians. It's not that hard. So, yield to pedestrians. This is the For Those Who Don't Know segment. It's the For Those Who Don't Know segment, where I am going to be sharing news that is kind of old news by now, but some people might not know it yet. So, the first For Those Who Don't Know segment, Ukraine has invaded Russia. In a shocking turn of events that surprised just about everyone, except for Ukraine, of course, Ukraine has launched an invasion into Russian territory. Now, where this differs from previous incursions is that this is being more professionally done by the actual Ukrainian regulars. The best of the Ukrainian army, equipped with the best of what the West has supplied Ukraine, has now captured over 1,000 kilometers of Russian territory in the Kursk region. Russia has called upon the international community to condemn such a criminal invasion. Clearly, they lack any self-awareness, as they're the ones who violated a nation's sovereignty first. According to Ukraine, they are setting up a security zone in the area. I don't exactly know what that means. Russia has now been put in a dilemma. If they move troops from the Donbass region to defend Kursk, then Ukraine will take the Donbass region. But if they do nothing, Ukraine will continue to make advances into Kursk and possibly even further into Russia. Additionally, dissent has grown within Russia as Ukraine's incursion into more of an invasion into Russian territory has awoken the Russian people into realizing that the Kremlin-fed story of great successes and great glory in Ukraine is indeed false. And now this conflict brought upon the area by Vladimir Putin is putting Russian citizens in danger. Many are calling for the invasion to end. Many Russians are calling for the invasion to end, and even some are calling for Putin's resignation. Whether or not they will survive doing that remains to be seen. Other than the security zone comment, the Ukrainians have been quiet about their intentions. This comes just in time as there's about to be an administration shift in the US with the upcoming election, with both potential candidates most likely wanting to seek a swift resolution to the conflict, though each one having the opposite side's interests at heart, but having one side or another of the conflict's interests at heart. This now turns attention of the world stage back onto Ukraine and away from the Israel and Palestine conflict. That conflict seems to have no clear good guys or bad guys, whereas the goal is simple: defend Ukraine and teach Russia a goddamn lesson. This has been the For Those Who Don't Know segment. Now we are going to be exploring all the different and wonderful translations of Ooga Booga. And while we wait for this dummy to get Translate pulled up, well, yes. Yeah. Translate. So, Ooga Booga. Apparently, according to Google Translate, Ooga Booga means praise him. Imagine you're standing in church and it's just Ooga Booga. Alright. Now, Ruga Wooga. Ruga Wooga apparently means the carpet. Ah, you spilled wine on Ruga Wooga? Alright. Now, Fuga Dooga, what does that mean? Focus. The Fuga Doog means focus on the grass. Suga Tuga means bring with you, and apparently it thinks that that's Estonian? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna end that segment right there, because the editing is getting to me.